Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Patty Shea. I am the Executive Director of the Police Officers Association of Connecticut, otherwise known as POACT. POACT is a 501c6 membership-driven organization comprised of police officers and police unions, regardless of their union affiliation. We lobby the state legislature on issues affecting police officers, their working conditions, and their safety and the public safety. Today, we are presenting this seminar. We offer educational opportunities from time to time, and this is an important one. I will be turning it over to Florencio Cotto to talk more about it before we get into it. And he is the president of the Police Officers Association and also president of the New Haven Police Union. So I will turn it off to Florencio. Thank you again for joining us.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Florencio Cotto. I'm the president of the Police Officers Association here in Connecticut. I'm also the president of the New Haven Police Union. POAC is a legislative association comprised of just over about maybe 4,000 peace officers. We ideally place our efforts on legislative matters concerning police officers, but I'd like to get into why I'm here today. And we, meaning POAC, believe that this event, it's crucial, and getting the word out, letting people know that there is a deadline approaching to receive benefits if you were there on 9/11. And speaking of 9/11, right, that day obviously lives in infamy with everyone. And for me personally, it hit home. My uncle was a police officer, now retired. He didn't go to 9/11, but he knew that when 9/11 occurred here in New Haven, they were all on high alert, and they weren't able to go home, and they stayed here for days on end without sleep because they didn't know if there was going to be another terrorist attack in the ports here in New Haven. And it was very surreal. I want to say I thought I wanted to be a police officer because of my uncle prior to 9/11, but once 9/11 happened and thereafter, it just cemented that this is what I wanted to do. This was my calling. I had no choice but to do it. It was what I needed to do. And I've been a police officer here in New Haven for the past 15 years, and I wouldn't change it for the world. With that being said, I'd like to introduce my vice president of the Police Officers Association, Chris Ekstrom. Take it from here, Chris.
Let me introduce 9/11 advocate Michael Barasch to talk about how to register, protect yourselves, your family, should anyone who has become seriously ill or die from the toxins proven equivalent of ingesting Drano.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. We're going to go through this quickly because we've got some time constraints, but I so appreciate all of you watching. And even if you weren't down there, you may know somebody who was. So please help us spread the word, especially about what you're going to hear about today, which is this July 29th deadline to register. They've now certified 68 cancers to the World Trade Center toxins, and many, sadly, are dying, such as Walter, Susie's husband, who you'll hear from Susie in a couple of minutes. So I want to start by introducing Deputy Chief Richie Allies of the FDNY. Richie's going to talk a little bit about the health program. I'm going to talk about the Victim Compensation Fund and the deadline, and then I want you to talk a little bit about Walter and any messages you may have to some of the widows or some of the sick firefighters and cops who are watching today.
I want to just throw a couple of scary stats out that give Michael most time to talk about the Victim Compensation Fund. Cancer in the general population, 38%. That means 38% of Americans can expect to possibly get cancer. In the 9/11 community, there's a 19 to 32% greater chance on top of that. Leukemia in the 9/11 community, there's a 41% higher risk than general population. So if I scare you, I mean to scare you. But help is on the way. Enroll in the World Trade Center Health Program. It's simple. You can do it online, phone call. We can ask any questions that you have about enrollment in the World Trade Center Health Program.
Thank you, Richie. And I just want everybody to look at this map here of Lower Manhattan. This is who is eligible. Anybody who is south of Houston Street, whether you were working or responding, you're eligible for the health program. If you were below Canal Street or on the Staten Island landfill, you're eligible for compensation. And these are the benefits of the health program that Richie was talking about. Free annual exam. They'll certify the illnesses. As I said, they've certified 68 cancers and many respiratory illnesses. And there are facilities all over Connecticut, all over the United States, as a matter of fact. So please take advantage of that. These are the most common cancers Richie started to talk about earlier. Skin cancer, prostate in men, thyroid cancer, breast cancer in both men and women, blood cancers, lung, kidney, colon, bladder, and very aggressive rare cancers. And of course, many respiratory illnesses too. So I'm here today to talk about the deadline for the Victim Compensation Fund. That's the other program that was established by the James Zadroga Act. Jimmy was a police officer for the NYPD. He died of pulmonary fibrosis when he was 34 years old in 2006. When they did an autopsy, they found ground glass in his lungs, as well as asbestos, chromium, lead, benzene, all known carcinogens. If he had it in his lungs, I suspect we all had it in ours. Richie, you were a firefighter at the time. My office is 2 blocks from ground zero. We were all exposed. The people in my office, by the way, I lost a paralegal named Liana from breast cancer at age 47. I lost a paralegal by the name of Dennis from kidney cancer. He also was 47. I have prostate cancer. My secretary, Barbara, has lymphoma. And this was all, we were breathing, as I said, the same toxins as so many other office workers. So again, just help us spread the word. Generally, there's a 2-year deadline from the date of someone's death or the date of their certified illness to register. The special master did a wonderful thing. She extended the deadline for anyone who missed it. But you must now register by this July 29th if you either have a certified illness or if you lost a loved one. And I'll get back to the Victim Compensation Fund in a second. I want to thank Suzanne Greene for being with us today. Susie, would you tell us a little bit about your husband, Walter?
Walter was a Connecticut State Police officer for 28 years. He ended up with colon cancer, stage 4, in 2016. He was down at the World Trade Center ground zero for 3 or 4, even longer months. He did multiple things down there. He was never sick, and when he did come down with it, it was fast. He died by May 31st, 2018, and they had never seen anything like this. It's a horrible, horrible cancer, and I just would like anyone out there that was down there, or if you were even down there and you're not sick, please go and at least certify that you were down there so that you, if not for you, for your family, because it hits you from left field. It's so quick, and no one should have to go through that.
And you know, you just said something so interesting, which is even if you're currently healthy, you should register, because the law requires proof that you were there. And every year that goes by, it's going to be more and more difficult to find witnesses to sign an affidavit saying, I was working next to him, I was volunteering next to her, I was going to work down there. A lot of these businesses where people work, where commuters came in from Connecticut, those businesses are out of business now. So it's hard to get anybody to sign an affidavit for you. So do it now while you can still find your witnesses. My job is to get you financial security for your family.
Yes.
And that's what the government set this up for people, so please take advantage of it. As you can see from here, the government is giving serious compensation, but you have to register in time. So it all depends on the severity of your illness, of course. Not everybody gets the same thing, but the non-life-threatening respiratory illnesses are being given 20 to 90,000. Skin cancers are being given 90,000 to 250,000, and all the other life-threatening cancers are getting between 200,000 and 340,000. The really good thing about this victim compensation fund is that you never waive your future rights. So many people tell us, you know this, Richie, that, oh, I don't want to take money away from other people, or I don't want to make a claim just for my my respiratory problems. Well, first of all, thanks to Jon Stewart, who shamed Congress into fully funding and forever extending this, you're not taking money away from anyone. As Susie said, you're protecting your family. So please understand that if you got $20,000 today for your asthma, and God forbid 10 years from now you get cancer, you can amend your claim. And God forbid you ever die of your cancer, your family can amend and make their own claim. So don't let that be a reason why you don't do that. As far as wrongful death awards, the widows and family members are getting a minimum of $250,000 for the death of their loved ones. As I said, this is financial security for so please take advantage of that. Don't let anybody miss the deadline. As we said, register for the health program. Even if you're healthy, take advantage of it. Get your evidence, secure it now. As Richie said, see a dermatologist every year and go for an annual mammogram for the women. Don't let COVID stop you from going for your annual exams, please. Early detection really can save your life. We always urge everyone to do a will and a healthcare proxy. And I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope this was informative. I know it was a lot of information. Thank you for sharing it with all. Be safe out there, everybody. Good night.